Hey guys, Sky up here, and I'm back with another GFX tutorial. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but today I'm going to be telling you how to make an awesome professional looking thumbnail for your Roblox videos using all 100% free programs. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have the load character plugin installed, link in the description. After you do that, head on over to the Roblox homepage and then click create and open up one of your Roblox places. If you don't have any just blank Roblox places, I recommend just starting a blank base plate or something like that, and that'll get you going. So after you've done that, we're in our blank Roblox place. You're going to want to head over to the plugins area, the load character plugin that we had installed. So, insert your Roblox character by typing in your username. Make sure you have spawn at origin selected with the X, and spawn it using the R6 selection. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is that if you have any accessories on your character, you're going to want to save them separately. Right now, my character only has 2 accessories, the pink sunglasses and the brown hair. So just hit that little drop down arrow, find your accessories, click on them by holding Control if you want to select multiple at the same time, and let's export them. But before we export them, let's open up File Explorer and create a folder. Okay, so we're in File Explorer and we want to create a new folder. Head over to your Downloads section and then create a folder. If you're on Windows, press New and then Folder. You can name it whatever you want, but I'm just going to name this GFX Thumbnail. Next, double tap to go into your folder. We're going to create 2 new folders. One, Character, and another, Props. So after we've done that, we're pretty much all set to go. So we head back into Roblox Studio, right click on your accessories that you want to save. If you have like back accessories or waist accessories, I recommend saving those separately. But if you have hats on, I recommend holding Control so that you can save all of your hats at the same time. So right click and just head on over to Export Selection. Scroll back up to your Downloads area, head back into the folder we created earlier, double click character, and we're gonna save it as hats. Alright, we're done with that now. So now we're just gonna delete them. I did this by pressing backspace, or you can just manually delete it with your mouse. Next up, click on your character. We're gonna just save this. So we go back to character, and now I'm gonna save this as body. And now this is the part where we're gonna insert any of the props we want. Alright, so say I wanted a camera as my prop. So we're just going to look up camera. Then drag whatever one you feel looks the best into Roblox Studio. Now, I like this camera model. It's pretty cool. So we're going to click on it, and then we're going to save it. But this time, we're going to save it to our props folder. And we're going to name it camera. So it might take a little while to save if the model's pretty high detail. Say you want to import like an entire, I don't know, car or something into Blender. It might take a little bit depending on how strong your computer is, but now we're done with Roblox Studio, and we're gonna head into Paint Rig. Now, to open Paint Rig, you're gonna need to have 2 things installed, Blender and Paint Rig. Both of those links will be in the description below. So, just hit your Windows key, or if you're on Mac, Spot Searchlight, or whatever, and just type in Paint Rig. We're gonna go ahead and open that up now. Now we're gonna be met with this purple dummy. So in this area, we're going to scroll in and head over to this. Click on the file icon, find your folder, head into the character area, and you should find your character name followed by a texture PNG. Just double tap on that and we have our character textures in now. Alright, so now we want our hats though. So we head into File, Import, Wavefront.obj, back to our folder, head over to character and import our hats. Make sure it's the OBJ file. So now this looks pretty cool. So we need to do a few more things before we can continue modeling our character. Step 1, and I would say do not forget this. I lost a lot of time just because I forgot to press this one button one time when I was making a thumbnail. Press this little option in the corner right here. And then head over to the TV icon. Make sure if you have a graphics card, select GPU compute, so it'll render a lot faster. Head down over to film, click the drop down arrow, select transparent, and we're pretty much ready to go. So now there's one more thing you want to do before we get started modeling our character. Select your hats. While holding control, select A_head attachments, and then while still holding control, press P and then object. So now if we click on our character and head over to pose mode, if we want to move our head, the hats will move with the head. If we didn't do this, only the head would be moving and our hats would be stuck in place. Alright, so we have our character now and we can start modeling him. So I just kind of want him to be looking at the camera a little bit and just have him chilling there. So the way you model your character is you just use the boxes and the rotate and move tool to, well, rotate and move the body parts around. So a few other things though, if you want to bend the knees, select this box, move, drag this arrow downwards, and if you want to move the feet, select the feet, use the rotate tool to tilt them this way. So that's pretty cool. I have a more in-depth tutorial on this. I'll leave the playlist down below, and we're pretty much good to go. But we want a little bit of lighting, so we're gonna head over to this section right here, and then head over to here, click this yellow dot, and then press environment texture. Now everything's purple. That's a bit weird though. So download the HDRIs for a lighting method. The sunrise one is pretty bright, and the night one is a little darker, depending on what kind of thumbnail you're going for. I like to use the Sprue Sunrise one, so make sure you have it saved to downloads, and then type in the HDRI that you downloaded. I like to use Sprue Sunrise 4K. It's really good, but if you have a lower end PC, I suggest you go with the 2K or 1K models, or 1440p and 1080p models. So now our character is nice and bright. That's pretty cool. But what about our prop from earlier? So what you want to do is you want to press File, Import, Wavefront.obj, head back to our downloads area, back into our folder that we created earlier, props, and then import the camera. Now the camera or the prop, whatever you chose, is gonna be, well, if you try and move it around, this happens. Movement arrows are over there, the actual camera is over here. What are we gonna do about that? So what you want to do is just right click, set origin, origin to geometry. Now the movement arrows correspond correctly with your prop. Alright, so now we can move our prop wherever we want. We could just say we want our camera right around here. We're gonna rotate it a little bit this way. Yeah, that's pretty good. So now we want to take a picture of this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select add, make sure you're in object mode by the way, add, and then camera. Then use the movement arrows to drag the camera to where you want it to be. Also, quick tip, if your computer is getting a little hot or you're just having trouble seeing everything with everything so pixelated, you can temporarily switch back to this mode, which allows you to see everything a little bit clearer. So use this button to get into to see what the camera sees, and press your mouse scroll wheel button to get out of it. So after doing this for a while, you can just position your camera correctly, see where you want it to be, and then get a nice, good picture of your subject and the prop that you imported. So that's pretty cool. I like that. What we're gonna do now is we are going to render this photo. So we're gonna do that by pressing this button again, pressing render, and then render image. Now this might take a little bit depending on your computer speed. For me, it usually takes around 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how large my GFX is. If you have a lot of props and stuff, it might take a little longer. But if you're just doing a character in one prop, it should only take around 5 to 15 minutes. Alright, so my finished GFX is done, but I don't really like the angle that the light is coming from. So we're going to redo it. If you want to adjust the angle that the light's coming from, simply just highlight your characters. Make sure you're staying in this mode over here. and, well, rotate them until they're being hit from the sun at a different angle that you like. So I want it to be kind of bright, but not too bright. So right about here seems kind of nice. So what I'm gonna do now is reposition my camera and get a better photo. Alright, I got a better angle now where the light hits kind of nice, so we're gonna render this image now. Also, not too sure if I mentioned this before, but before you render your image, make sure that you hit the TV icon and make sure your rendering engine is in cycles. It'll look so much better than the other options. Eevee looks really weird, and like sometimes you'll have transparent props and stuff. Just cycles is the way to go. However, if you select Eevee and you're not having any of these like weird glitches, and let's say you have an older computer or a computer without a graphics card that has trouble using cycles, if you want to use Eevee and it has no weird transparent hat glitches or anything, feel free to use it. When I first started off, I was using a laptop with no graphics card when I made my first GFX tutorial back in 2020 on the Star Wars one. I used Eevee because it was just a quicker rendering option and it was a lot more comfortable for my laptop to handle. Alright, so now that we have our finished character, go ahead and press image and then save as. I'm just going to save this as Thumbail GFX, and you just press save as image. Nice. So we are all done with Blender for now, but I'm going to leave it open just in case I need to come back to it. So we're back in Roblox now, and say I want to make a thumbnail on Roblox Bed Wars. So we're going to head over to the games page, go to Bed Wars, and let's just join a Bed Wars lobby. Okay, so we're in a Bed Wars lobby now, and let's say we want a screenshot of this area for our thumbnail. So press FN plus F11 to enter full screen, or go into the settings and select full screen on by going over to this area and selecting on, and then head over to your graphics quality and set it to max. Make sure it's set to max so we can get the highest quality shadows for our screenshot. So now we're gonna take the screenshot. Just head over into the escape menu, record, and then kind of use like the transparent menu to see when it's a nice time to take a screenshot. Alright, so now we need to go find our screenshot now that we took it. It's probably gonna be saved in the Roblox folder for screenshots. So let's go find that in your file explorer, and then I'll head back when I find it. Alright, so now that we've found our screenshot, we're going to head into paint.net, link in the description below. Once you have it installed, just go ahead and type in paint.net or find it on your desktop and open it. Now, head over to File, Open, Downloads, and find the thumbnail GFX we created earlier, or this. So now what we're going to want to do is just, you can use this rectangle box to resize it however you want. And that's pretty cool. I'm going to have mine about this size and move them around to the corner right there. Now we're going to want to head over to this area, press the new layer button, drag it below it. Now this is where you want to import your Roblox screenshot. So you can either do the same method by going back to the file area, opening, and finding your screenshot in File Explorer somewhere. But what I like to do is just head into File Explorer where I found my Roblox screenshot and just drag it in there. And open the image. So now, the image is opened. So just Control C to copy it, head over to this layer, and Control V to paste it. Wow, that's pretty cool, but we got our hotbar and stuff down there, and stuff up here, and we don't really like to see that. So, just hold Shift, hold one of the corners, and expand it by dragging your mouse in one of the corner directions. And now, look at that. We got a pretty clean Roblox thumbnail. But we want to add some text. So, add a new layer above all the other layers. And let's add some text. Use this tool, and then go up here to adjust the font that you want and the size of it, and the color down here. Alright, so once you've found a font that you like, and a size, and a color that you're comfortable with, I'm just going to choose bright red since it's easier for the recording program to see. I'm just going to type something like example text. So now we've got our thumbnail. If you don't really like the way it looks, you can always just mess around with it, just add more stuff, play around with the effects menu. But now we're pretty much done. One last thing I want to do, this is completely optional. I like to have a white outline around my GFX to make it easier to see. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to copy our background layer, create a new layer above it, paste it, uncheck this check mark, head over to the paint bucket tool, make sure you have nothing selected, and just plaster that with white paint everywhere. Just plaster it with white paint until you see that all the edges of your just GFX is covered in white. Now we're going to recheck this one while staying on this one. So now we're going to head to the effects menu, and then I believe it is in blurs, and then Gaussian blur, and up it to however much you want your outline. So that's a nice white glow behind your GFX, makes it a little easier to see, makes it stand out from the rest of your thumbnail. Alright, so here's how you're going to want to save your new thumbnail. Just head over to File, Save As, be sure to press JPEG or PNG, and just name it whatever you want. I'm going to call it Finished Thumbnail. So that's how you make a pretty clean Roblox thumbnail with 100% using free programs. That's all you do. If you have any questions below, just leave a comment, although a faster way to reach me is by joining our Discord server. We have a Discord server where we like to just film videos together, talk, chill, just do whatever. And since I'm a pretty small creator right now, it'd be really helpful if you could subscribe, leave a like. It really helps a small channel like me. So thank you all for watching, and I hope this tutorial helps you in just some way possible. I really wish I had clear tutorials like these when I started off YouTube, and just use this for your channel. So until next time, I will see you all in my next video.